Have you ever wondered what makes someone truly unforgettable? Imagine possessing the power to make any woman miss you, even when you're not around. In today's discussion, we're unveiling 5 psychological tricks rooted in Stoicism that can create a lasting impression and keep her thinking about you long after you part ways. Before we dive into these game-changing strategies, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more insights that can elevate your relationships and personal growth. The power of emotional detachment. First, let's explore the concept of emotional detachment. This isn't about ignoring her or playing mind games. Rather, it's about valuing yourself more than the need for her approval. Have you ever experienced the feeling that the more you chase someone, the more they pull away? It's a common scenario where desperation leads to distance. By embodying emotional detachment, you create a magnetic force that makes her want what she can't have. Imagine not constantly seeking her validation, not waiting by the phone for a text, and not obsessing over every word she says. Instead, you remain calm, confident, and at peace with yourself. This emotional self-sufficiency allows you to create a space that she begins to feel. When you stop chasing her, you begin to represent something more valuable. You become a challenge, a mystery she can't quite figure out. When you're always available, it's easy for her to take you for granted. But when you pull back, not out of manipulation but out of genuine self-sufficiency, she starts to miss you. Think about the last time someone ignored you or pulled away. Didn't it make you wonder why? That's the same psychological principle at play here. By creating emotional space, she feels the void of your presence and realizes what she's missing. Focus on yourself, your growth, and your purpose. Be the kind of person who is so whole and confident that when she's around, she feels privileged to be in your presence. This approach won't just make her miss you, it will make her want you more than she ever thought possible. Creating space and absence. Next, let's consider the importance of creating space and absence. Picture this. You've shared great conversations and meaningful moments, but then you vanish for a while. Not because you don't care, but because you understand the power of absence. Space isn't just physical, it's emotional too. When you allow space to grow between the two of you, something magical happens. She begins to feel the absence of you in her life. People often take things for granted when they're constantly available. If you're always there, she may start to see you as background noise. When you step back, even for a short time, it shines a spotlight on her emotions. She suddenly realizes that something is missing. That absence creates a psychological trigger that fosters longing. It's simple. When someone is always present, it's easy to forget their significance. However, when you step away, she starts to feel the void. This absence gives her the chance to reflect, to miss you, and to desire your presence even more. Have you ever been around someone who was constantly there, but didn't appreciate them until they were gone? The same principle applies here. By giving her time without you, you allow her to realize how important you truly are. This isn't about playing games. It's about creating balance. You have your own life, passions, and goals outside of the relationship. When you take time for yourself, you show her that your life is just as valuable as your relationship. When you create space, she feels the absence, and when she feels that absence, she'll begin to miss you. Maintaining calm in chaos. Now, let's discuss the power of maintaining calm in chaos. Imagine a world filled with noise, drama, and constant pressure. Everything around her is unpredictable, and emotions are running wild. In the midst of this storm, you remain calm, composed, and steady. You become the anchor while everyone else is losing their heads. This quality is incredibly attractive to women because it provides a sense of security and stability something the world desperately lacks. When you embody calmness, especially during chaotic moments, you create a refuge for her. You're not frantic or reactive. Instead, you're deliberate, thoughtful, and unshaken by external circumstances. This kind of emotional strength draws people in because, in a world full of uncertainty, people crave stability. She wants to feel like no matter what happens, you will remain steady. You're the one who doesn't crumble when things go wrong, the one who leads with confidence even when everything around you is falling apart. When you stay calm in chaotic situations, you give her something to rely on, something she can't get from anyone else. Consider how many people in her life can truly handle pressure without losing their composure. If you want to stand out, be the man who remains unflappable no matter what life throws your way. This doesn't mean you need to be emotionless. It means you can control your reactions. When she sees that you don't panic and feels your strength in difficult moments, she'll start to depend on you and trust you. That trust will make her miss you more when you're not around. Leaving her with curiosity. Let's move on to the idea of leaving her with curiosity. You've probably heard the saying, "Leave them wanting more." It's more than just a catchy phrase. It's a psychological principle that can make her miss you deeply. When you reveal everything about yourself too soon, the mystery fades, and so does her interest. However, when you leave her with a sense of curiosity, you create a gap that only you can fill, and that gap makes her want to know more about you. Imagine you're talking to her but don't spill every detail about your life. You don't share your childhood stories, your deepest secrets, or everything you've ever done. Instead, you drop hints, tell partial stories, and provide glimpses of who you are. You become like a book with missing chapters, just enough to keep her reading, but never enough to let her finish the entire story. Curiosity is powerful. People are naturally drawn to what they don't know, what they can't fully understand. When you're too easy to figure out, she'll lose interest quickly. But when there's a little mystery surrounding you, she'll start to wonder what else you have that she hasn't seen yet. Think about the times you've been intrigued by someone and couldn't stop thinking about them. That's the power of curiosity. It keeps her engaged and makes her chase the next piece of the puzzle. So, next time you're with her, hold back a little. Leave her with questions, not answers. The curiosity you spark will make her crave your presence, and that's when you'll start to see the magic unfold. Confidence over neediness. Finally, let's talk about the vital distinction between showing confidence and neediness. There's a powerful truth every man must understand. Women are drawn to strength, not desperation. Confidence is magnetic, while neediness is repulsive. The difference between the two can make or break your connection with her. When you exude confidence, you create an aura of attraction. It's the quiet assurance in knowing who you are and what you bring to the table. You don't need to boast or prove yourself to anyone. You know your worth and carry that assurance into every interaction. There's no chasing, no desperation. You simply are, and that energy naturally draws people to you. When you show confidence, you're demonstrating self-respect and creating a space where she can't help but admire your strength. You become a man who is whole, secure in his own life, and doesn't need her to complete him. This is why she'll miss you when you show that you're perfectly fine without her. It leaves her wanting to be the one to fill that space. On the flip side, neediness shows a lack of self-sufficiency. When you're constantly texting her, waiting for her approval, or seeking her validation, it screams insecurity. Women don't want to feel like they are the source of your happiness or self-worth. They want to be with a man who is happy and fulfilled, regardless of whether or not she's in his life. Confidence is about understanding that you don't need her to complete you. You already feel whole. When you stand in your own power, she begins to see that she's not just lucky to be with you. She's lucky that you even choose to share your time and energy with her. Remember, confidence isn't about arrogance, it's about self-assurance. When you show your strength without clinging to her, when you give her the space to appreciate your presence, she'll miss you more than she ever could if you were constantly chasing after her. In conclusion, these 5 psychological tricks can help create a lasting impression and make her miss you in ways you might not have thought possible. By embodying emotional detachment, creating space, maintaining calm in chaos, leaving her with curiosity, and showing confidence without neediness, you can transform your interactions and deepen your connections. Remember, it's about creating an allure that naturally draws her in and keeps her thinking about you long after you part ways. So, take these strategies to heart and watch how they can elevate your relationships and personal growth.